welcome to SveNFL. What's up, y'all? It's Jonathan Rollins alone this episode. Normally I have my friend Schif Masara, and we are two Americans living in Sweden, talking about football. It's a different episode. It's the first time we ever tried anything like this, but it's summertime, and we got to get this stuff out to you. So I'm going to be coming to you solo while Schif is on vacation with his family. I'm hoping he's having a good time. I haven't talked to him, but I prepared all of this stuff to talk to Schif, talk through these coaching staffs. And, I felt like since there's so many to do, there's 8 divisions, I might as well just start it. And if it's, I don't know, one-man show is too boring for y'all, then I'm sorry, man. It'll just be like that. I'm alone with the soundboard. Ah, man.
Oh, shit. Not good.
But we're going to get through it. I'm going to talk about the NFC East. I decided to start with the NFC East because that's the team that's defending the Super Bowl championship, the Philadelphia Eagles. So we'll just start right there and go through the staffs. Last week, I went through the changes since the last time we did this. That was 2021. So go back and check that episode out if you want to hear the changes. And now we'll get more of a deep dive going into it because the NFC East, home to the champs, Super Bowl champs. And everybody knows about the rivalries over there. Y'all know how it is, NFC East. You got the Eagles, you got the Cowboys, you got the Commanders coming on strong, and you got the Giants that seem to be rebuilding but keeping their coaching in place. So we'll go through it. First things first, we got to go with the Super Bowl champion. Eagles fly, as their fans like to say. They're the reigning Super Bowl champions, and they keep the core coaching stability at the top. They get poached a lot ever since Nick Siriani came in, which says a lot about him as a head coach, developing his staff. He's only 44 years old, y'all. Nick Siriani, each individual coach, each individual. Y'all know about that. He's 44 years old. He's born in 81. He was hired in 2021, and this is his 5th season as the head coach, and he's got mentors from his past, like Larry Keres, Lou Tepper, you probably heard that name, Todd Haley, remember that guy? Romeo Crennel, who's part of the Belichick tree, Mike McCoy, Anthony Lynn, and Frank Reich. So that's some different philosophies thrown in there too. His career regular season record is 48-20, giving him almost 71% win rate, and his postseason record is 6-3, and as you know, he's got him a Super Bowl. So his overall winning percentage is 70%. That is high. Good work there. And you got to credit their GM over there putting that team together, because I still think they're the best roster in football. And they're top 5 right now. Last year, they were head and shoulders above the rest with their roster. Offensive coordinator there is Kevin Patullo. He's 44 years old, same age as Nick Siriani. He joined them in 2021 as well as a passing game coordinator, and he got promoted this year. So this is his 5th year on staff and first as the OC. Last year, their scoring was 7th in the league. They have that beast of a running back over there, and they're a run-first team built from the inside out. The offensive line and the defensive line is the keys to the team. Patullo's approach is to build upon the strengths of the team. They focus on efficiency, adapting to defensive strategies. They lean on that O-line and Saquon Barkley. That's basically it. They don't ask too much of their quarterback. But Jalen Hurts obviously helps out a lot. They got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and they primarily did the Air Coryell. That's their offense that they use. And they led the league in running the ball. 51.2% of their plays were run plays, which is, the league is pretty pass happy, but not the Eagles, man. Defensive coordinator is the well-renowned Vic Fangio, 66 years old. Damn, born in 1958. Jeez. He joined the Eagles in 2024, leaving my Dolphins. Came over there, and this is his 2nd year on staff. The defense was second in the league in points per game last year. That's pretty dope. And we knew that was going to happen when he happily left the Dolphins to get back on that Eagle staff. He's known for his defense, his scheme. He's pretty stubborn, though, they say. But he likes bringing in new players, sticking with the positions, aggressive coaching. It's a zone, basically. In 2024, they were running a 4-3. And they're saying that his system is designed to provide ample opportunities for young talent to excel. But he's just kind of a wizard, man. So that's the coaching staff there. I think the Eagles are going to be good, man. They're going to keep doing what they do. Wouldn't be surprised if – I mean, it's hard to say because it's hard to repeat or whatever, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're top 4 again this year. Washington Commanders, there's a lot of energy behind them. They got a new head coach last year with Dan Quinn. He's 54 years old. He's born September 11th. Oh, shit. Well, he's born 1970. So this will be his second season with the team. He was head coach for the Falcons back in 2015 to 20. And he was D coordinator in Dallas and then came over to the Commanders. His coaching tree has he comes from the Pete Carroll coaching tree. That Legion of Boom defense, Dennis Erickson, Eric Mangini, Steve Mariucci. I don't know if you remember these guys. Jim Mora, Nick Saban. They're all his he's part of those coaching trees in his career. Matt LaFleur, Mike McDaniel, Kyle Shanahan are that same generation as him. His head coaching winning record is 59-54, which is 52% in the regular season, 5-3-0 in the playoffs, which is 62.5%. And Commanders went 12-5 last year. That's a 71% win percentage. He's 45. Cliff Kingsbury is their offensive coordinator, 45. A lot of people giving him credit for Jaden Daniels, how good he was. And they didn't have the Kingsbury Cliff like we're accustomed to. We'll see what happens this next season. Maybe he's meant to be offensive coordinator. But he was hired last year, so this will be his second year on staff. They had 55 total touchdowns, that offense, last season, which was seventh, and were seventh in offense with 370 yards per game. So they were pretty top 10 offense. His offense is a multi-dimensional attack. It's built around Jaden Daniels, of course, and his ability to run and throw on the move and whatnot. And it's all about explosive plays on that offense. And they had a lot of exciting stuff. I think you live or die by that. So we'll see what happens this season. But the focus is adjusting the opposing weaknesses and put up points, keep the defense fresh. And they definitely had to put up points with that defense last year. Defensive coordinator is Joe Witt Jr., 47 years old, born in 78. He came over with Dan Quinn, so this is his second season on staff. And it's his sixth season working under Dan Quinn, so very familiar with that defense. The defense had one defensive touchdown last year. Witt Jr. worked with Dan Quinn and the Cowboys, and they had that defense, fifth in points per game, so that's what they had in the past. Commanders, they have a multiple defense that they use, so they try to keep it pretty standard, basic, and adjusting from, I would say, a 3-4 base, but it's hard nowadays because a lot of base is not as it's more receivers on the field, so you can't be in that base as much. So the scheme evolves, and they try to focus on player talents there. But if there were running backs on the field or whatever, then they would come from a 3-4 base. The Cowboys, which is a hate 'em or love 'em team, they have some big-time changes. First and foremost, they got rid of their head coach, so now they got Brian Schottenheimer. I'm not a believer. He's 51 years old, born in 73. He was hired. This is his first season, so we'll see how that goes. And then, obviously, his coaching tree, I don't know if you know him, Brian Schottenheimer is the former He's the son of Marty Schottenheimer. I remember that guy from when I was a kid. Head coach, this is his first time head coaching, so we got no statistics on that. Offensive coordinator Clayton Adams, 42 years old, joined them 2025, of course, joining the staff. First time being offensive coordinator. In 2024, Brian Schottenheimer was the offensive coordinator, so I'm guessing they're going to keep the same offense, right? He had 33 touchdowns, ranked 17th, so, kind of middle of the pack, 327.5 yards a game. And they had some quarterbacking issues last season, so we'll see what they do with that. The scheme is said to be adjusting now. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, they're trying to make it suit them better is what they're saying. And they're trying to improve the ground game. If you remember last season, they had no running backs. So we'll see what happens with the running by committee thing they're doing. And I don't know. I'm not a believer, man. But we'll see what Adams does with that offense. Matt Eberflus came over from disgraced Bears coach, who's now the defensive coordinator there. He's 55 years old. But he's known about his defense. So we'll see how that works out for him. It's his first year, obviously, a brand new staff. Cowboys defense under a different coordinator was almost last in scoring defense. So Eberflus is only up from here. He was with the Bears, and he had their defense middle of the league with 14th in points per game. Eberflus is known for disciplined, aggressive defensive units. He prioritizes stopping the run and creating turnovers, or at least exciting plays on defense. So they want to swarm the football, limit explosive plays, and mix zone and man coverage in disguise. So it's going to take some cerebral players to make that work. But it's said to be simplistic for people to adjust to. And then the Giants, last team that we'll talk about. This should be very quick. I don't know what's going to happen there. I'm a believer in Brian Daboll. He's the head coach again. He's surviving all of these firings and changes and quarterback changes and all that shit. So they must really believe in him. I believe in him. He's 50 years old. He got hired in 2022. This is fourth season. It's kind of a make or break for him, though. I think his seat is getting hotter and hotter. And his influences are Bill Belichick, Romeo Crennel, Eric Mangini, Tony Sparano, and Sean McDermott. As we know how he did over there in Buffalo. Head coaching record is 18-32, which is 36% in the regular season, and he's 1-1, 500 in postseason. Overall career winning percentage, I shouldn't have said I'm a believer, 37%. Offensive coordinator is Mike Kafka. He's 38 years old, young buck. He joined in 2022 as the assistant head coach in 2024. So he was offensive coordinator 2022, and he's also assistant head coach. And it's his fourth year on the staff. We'll see how that works for him, man. They scored 30 total touchdowns last year. 30th in offense with 294.8 yards per game. Yikes. But they're trying to get that line improved. They want to get the line to be steady and focus on inside out with their offensive, philosophy. Defensive coordinator Shane Bowen, he's also 38, and he joined the Giants in 2024. So this is his second year on staff. The defense didn't have any defensive touchdowns, but he was a D coordinator for the Titans 2021 to 2023, and their defense was 30th in points allowed per game. So we'll see what happens over here in New York with probably equal defensive talent. But they did add some defensive additions, some players on the defense, so they're expected to be the better part of their team. So that's good. And they want to have a versatile defensive line and depth on the defensive line because they want to keep players fresh and focus on stopping the run first. So, yeah, that's the NFC East. I don't know what else to add on here. I got no news. I was going to have Schif bring the news, but whenever he has time, we'll have him do some news. That was just the NFC East. I hope it wasn't too boring for y'all. I didn't hit any of these, man. I should have.
You are trash.
Should have been used. I really. I don't know if these deserve my like personal opinions. I'm just trying to give you what it is. Defenses have changed so much that I can't. Like the last time I did this, it was like they run a 3-4, they run a 4-3, they run a But now it feels like most teams are like nickel and multiple. You know what I mean? Having 5 cornerbacks on the field because of these pass happy offenses change you out of what's called the base defense. So a little bit different, getting these philosophies down, and I hope I covered it well enough for y'all to understand the what these coaches are going to bring to the table. All of this is to set up our bet for the season. Division winners. Oof. I got to get the bet in soon. But as far as this division, I feel like you can't go wrong with saying the Eagles are going to win it again. I'm not believing in the Commanders doing what they did last year. And Siriani seems to be that dude, man. New style of coaching. It's working. All right. That's about it, man. Let me know what y'all think about this. I tried to keep it entertaining. I said I tried to keep it entertaining. Did I?
Barely.
All right. Well, thank y'all for checking us out. I'm going clockwise now. So we began with the NFC East. The next coaching deep dive is going to be the NFC South. Stay tuned for that. I might put it out sometime this week as well. Very important. Thank y'all for checking this episode out of SveNFL. It's been fun. The season's coming on. Next will be the NFC South, so stay tuned for that. We'll see what they're talking about. It's going to be touchy because Schif's team is part of that. So, get ready for me to break that down. Thanks for checking it out. I've been Jonathan Rollins, and you've been listening to SveNFL. Catch you later. Peace.